for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
What does scoring a football goal and mathematics have in common? In the world of Ubongo kids, everything we do can be related to math and science. Join Kiduchu, Kibena, Koba, Amani, Baraka and their animal friends as they solve problems and go on fun learning adventures.
Don't you see it? We're going around the moon.
Watch brand new episodes of Ubongo Kids, Nigeria's favorite educational cartoon show, every Saturday at 9:30 a.m. on NTA.
Hello Nigeria, I am Becky Madujamu. Welcome to Newsline. Our top stories are about remarkable Nigerians. They are not popular just yet, but what they are doing right now will make them outstanding in a matter of time. There is a toddler who was an enigma at the Youth Sports Festival that held recently. The game he featured in happens to be mentally tasking, and his young brain is coping just fine. Then a teenage boy who designs automobiles has a space in the lineup. We also have the elderly on the line. A royal father of a famous historic town celebrated recently. Find out why he had a feast. And some war veterans are preaching the message of peace as they remember their past with nostalgia. We'll also be talking about the dreaded Ember moments. Some Nigerians are worried about their safety because October is only a few days away. They will be telling us why their fears are justified. The news will be read now. Newsline will continue after Lydia Ochi is done. Happy Sunday, Lydia.
Thanks, Becky. Happy Sunday to you too. Welcome to the news. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has declared the Osun State governorship election inconclusive. The returning officer, Professor Adeola Fuakwe, said the action became necessary in line with the provision of the nation's electoral guideline and the number of cancelled votes, which is higher than the margin between the two contending political parties. The total figure, as announced by Professor Fuakwe, APC scored 254,345 votes, while PDP polled 254,698 votes. Adebola Brooklyn Sunday reports.
This was not the pronouncement. 767,955 voters that participated in the election were expecting from the returning officer for the Osun State governorship election, Professor Adeola Fuakwe. The two major contenders, Senator Ademola Adeleke of the People's Democratic Party, polled 254,698, while Boyega Oyetola of the All Progressives Congress had 254,345 votes, an outcome that INEC said has triggered an electoral provision. What does this say about INEC's strive for perfection in line with world best practice?
Having an inconclusive election is an attempt to have a free, fair and credible election where every member of the constituency of the governor is afforded the opportunity to vote for who becomes a governor.
INEC has demonstrated a capacity in terms of service delivery, in terms of the operations.
The rerun election will be held on Thursday, 27th of September, in 7 polling units spread across Orolu, Oshogbo, Ife North, and Ife South local government areas of the state. Adebola, Brooklyn Sunday, NTA News.
Thanks, Adebola. Still on the Osun election, reactions trail the Osun State governorship election declared inconclusive by INEC as parties prepare for a rerun in 4 local government areas. Taiwo Adeni has more.
The Osun governorship election set for by-election in 7 units across 4 local government areas this Thursday. The 2 leading political parties, All Progressives Congress, APC, and People's Democratic Party, PDP, have urged their supporters to remain focused as they explore avenues towards achieving victory.
It's my advice to all Nigerians to guard democracy jealously, to make sure that people's vote counts.
So we need to have you once more to come out and vote on Thursday.
Though not prepared for it, residents of Osun State described the outcome and by-election as beauty of democracy, which always reflects the wishes of the people.
But this is the first time we're experiencing something like this, and I think, yeah, it's good. We commend INEC.
If it's the best option for the commission, I think it's okay.
For now, all eyes will be on the 7 units that will determine the fate of the state. In Osogbo, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
I am now joined in the studio by Jide Ojo, a political analyst, to discuss the conduct of the Osun governorship election. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
Now, what is your assessment of the general conduct of the elections on the part of INEC, the electorate, and security?
I will score the 3 of them very high. I just returned from Osun this morning. I was there since Thursday, participating in both the pre-election and election day activity, and I went around the Osun Central Senatorial District. At least I visited 6 local governments, including that of the APC candidate yesterday. And I saw a very enthusiastic crowd of people who wanted to exercise their franchise. They turned out en masse. And the election was very peaceful in all the places we went to. Election started on time. INEC seems to have overcome its perennial logistic challenges arising from, building on the success of Ekiti July 14 governorship election. We have 98% opening of vote at 8 a.m., which is very impressive. If you score 98 over 100, that means you just have very isolated 1 or 2 polling units that didn't open by 8. Which is quite impressive because you recall that Osun has 30 local government, and that is compared to Ekiti that has 17. 30 local government and almost all of them starting on time. As at 7:30 when we went out yesterday, all the polling units we visited were open, and the enthusiastic crowds were waiting patiently to cast their ballot. The incidence of smart card reader malfunctioning was also very limited, very isolated, and it's also a significant improvement on what INEC has been doing, making sure that at least we eliminate the use of incident form and that every registered voter is able to be processed, accredited through the smart card reader. Okay,
now, we want you to educate us a bit, especially for those who do not understand the meaning of an election described as inconclusive. Please tell us more.
Well, it's not unique. Inconclusive election is not the making of Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, the incumbent chairman of INEC. It's been with us for a long time. In fact, I recall that in 2007, we had an inconclusive election in Ekiti State. Recall the Dosi saga. Where the election of one local government had to be, INEC had to conduct supplementary election in that place. Then in Imo State, 2 back-to-back, 2011, 2015, INEC had to conduct supplementary election. In 2011, INEC had to conduct 4 supplementary elections in Ngokpala, Mbitoli, Oguta, with federal constituency and one other local government I can't recollect now. And even in 2015, they had to do supplementary election. And then very more recently, in Kogi, November 21, 2015, governorship election, INEC had to conduct supplementary election. And in Bayelsa, on December 5, there was also supplementary election in Southern Ijaw local government. What are the rationale? Where you have overvoting, where you have widespread violence, where you have, elections not being conducted in some polling units. It's not in every circumstance you have to conduct supplementary election. It's when the margin of victory or the margin of the leading candidate and the runner-up is so close that elections not being held in those other units can affect the outcome one way or the other. Let me be more practical. Why did INEC have to apply the Section 53, subsection 2 and 3 of the Electoral Act, as well as its guidelines on election, which is empowered to do by Section 153 of the Electoral Act, that says that INEC can make regulations and code manual and all of that regulations. Now, it's so happened that in this particular cliffhanger that we had in Osun State, the PDP candidate was leading by 353 votes. Okay. Meanwhile, over 3,000 votes, approximately 3,500 votes were cancelled, arising from overvoting in one polling unit. In another polling unit, the election did not hold at all. In another polling unit, the smart candidate could not be used, and they have to. Then in another one, there was disruption, which means there was violence. In all of this, INEC is on sure legal footing, given the background examples I've given you. And to the best of my knowledge, no court has said INEC should not have conducted supplementary elections. Okay. I know it's quite emotive because what we experience in Osun, and I think people should understand that it is a new INEC. That is why we have the scenario in Osun. Why did I say so? If it were to be before, you couldn't have experienced a governorship election photo finishing, as we have in Osun, that a candidate is leading the other. I mean, the two leading candidates are leading each other by 353 votes, not even up to 1,000, not even up to 500. It shows that our votes are counting. And what INEC wants to do on Thursday, 27 September, is to give those polling units where elections have to be cancelled opportunity for those electorate there to exercise their franchise.
Thank you very much. We've been well educated, and we look forward for the rerun elections come.
Supplementary election,
Thank you for coming.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
We've been talking to Jide Ojo, political analyst, on the Osun election. Moving on now, President Muhammadu Buhari has left Abuja for New York ahead of the 73rd session of United Nations General Assembly. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president, accompanied by his wife, Aisha Buhari, were seen off at the Nnamdi International Airport by Minister of the FCT, Mohammed Musa Bello, his Chief of Staff, Abba Kyari, and other senior government officials. While in New York, President Buhari is expected to address world leaders on the opening day of the general debate to reaffirm Nigeria's commitment to international peace and security, sustainable socio-economic development, youth and women empowerment, rule of law, as well as human rights. The theme for this year's session is making the United Nations relevant to all people, global leadership and shared responsibilities for peaceful, equitable, and sustainable societies. The Nigerian leader is also expected to canvass international support for the fight against corruption, amongst others. And also, wife of the President, Aisha Muhammadu Buhari, departs Sunday to New York for the 73rd session of the United Nations General Assembly, alongside President Muhammadu Buhari. A statement by Director of Information of the State House, Suleiman Haruna, says while in New York, Mrs. Buhari will address the General Assembly's high-level meeting on tuberculosis, where she will speak to issues of increased political commitment, funding, and robust partnership on the 26th of September. Mrs. Buhari will also address a session at the 21st Summit of Organization of African First Ladies Against AIDS, which will hold at the Anga. On the sidelines of the summit, Mrs. Buhari will attend a number of high-level events, including a stakeholders meeting on breast and cervical cancers in Africa and another on HIV, as well as a strategic planning workshop for First Ladies and their technical advisors. And from New York, our next report says, as the world converged on New York, United States for the 73rd General Assembly of the United Nations, the permanent mission of Nigeria to the UN says all arrangements have been put in place to facilitate the nation's outing. For the latest from New York, let's join Makut Simon Macham. Makut, what is the latest from your end?
Well, thank you very much, Studio. Indeed, New York is agog and receiving delegates from across the world who are here to attend the 73rd General Assembly of the United Nations. And of course, President Muhammadu Buhari is due here any moment to join the world leaders that are here to deliberate on several issues concerning global peace and security, and of course, development across the world. Now, some of the issues the president will be addressing are being fine-tuned by the Nigerian permanent mission here at the United Nations. The mission just behind me has been agog as Nigerian permanent representative, Professor Tijani Bande, and his team have been working to ensure that every detail is worked out, that Nigeria gets to participate in this summit without any issue. Now, one of the key issues that Nigeria hopes to stress here is the issue of anti-corruption. As you know, President Muhammadu Buhari is the champion for anti-corruption for Africa, and indeed he has been insisting that a lot of money that has been stolen from Africa, and indeed Nigeria, could do a lot of good to fast-tracking Nigeria's development if it is returned. So he'll be talking about that as he addresses the world. And indeed, so many meetings that Nigeria will be attending have already been lined up. Some of them the president may not attend in person, but members of this delegation would be attending. The Foreign Minister, Geoffrey Onyama, who is already here, is already attending some meetings, and of course has been working with the permanent mission to ensure that everything is put in place, that Nigeria has a successful outing. But the city of New York is calm, and of course security is being beefed up all over the place to ensure that delegates have smooth attendance at the 73rd General Assembly of the United Nations. So we'll keep you posted on developments here at the UN headquarters in New York. Back to you in the studio.
Thank you, Makut. Makut is reporting from New York. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo has inaugurated a number of infrastructural projects in Owerri, the Imo state capital. The projects include a 200-bed capacity hospital donated by Governor Rochas Okorocha to the Nigeria Air Force. The Vice President also inspected a cargo airport still under construction. State House correspondent Jide Onifade has more.
Port, which is a federal government project, is the first Vice President Yemi Osinbajo inspects on arrival in the Imo state capital. He describes the action as a worthy collaboration expected by the administration from state and the private sector.
The location is an excellent location. This is one of the most important trading areas for our country in the south, or for our country. And the southeast is very well known for important trading and manufacturing activities. So this will serve very excellently for the purpose for which it was built.
We also can be requesting that if you can please approve the refund for this money to let us meet other duties that we need to do, because taking money from our little resources to build this have affected some of our other areas.
The Vice President further emphasizes this when he receives the document of this 200-bed capacity hospital from Governor Rochas Okorocha and transfers him to the Nigerian Air Force through Air Vice Marshal Akpasa, who stood in for the Chief of Air Staff. At a meeting with the State Council of Traditional Rulers, Vice President Osinbajo commends the people for the cooperation with the federal government and for allowing peace to reign in their state.
What is important is that you bear in mind all the time that there is no state that is an island. All of this federation are one and must be united. And the federal government of Nigeria is committed to ensuring that there is adequate collaboration and adequate support for the various states of Nigeria.
The Empower Project and others, we really thank you for touching the lives of the ordinary citizens of the country.
Governor Rochas Okorocha says over 100,000 projects have been completed by his administration since coming on board with his rescue mission programs.
All these people support this government. And don't you ever listen to what you read on the social media Imo State, as far as we're concerned, are solidly behind the President Muhammadu Buhari's government, and you'll come to see it during the election.
Vice President Yemi Osinbajo thereafter visited the city's main market to launch the Trader Money scheme of the federal government. In Owerri, Imo State, Jide Onifade, NTA News.
And from the National Assembly comes a notice that's to inform all the distinguished senators and honorable members that resumption of plenary session earlier scheduled for Tuesday 25th September has been postponed to Tuesday 9th October due to the activities of the primaries of the political parties. Statement released by clerk to the National Assembly says all distinguished senators and honorable members are expected to resume plenary by 10 a.m. on the 9th of October. And from Makurdi, the Benue State capital, the governor of Benue State, Samuel Otom, says the state is now witnessing relative peace and security following deployment of army troops to tackle the menace of armed bandits and militia. Governor Otom said this in a message at the inauguration of Nigerian Army Post-Service Housing Scheme project in Otukpo, Benue State. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa reports that the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, performed the ceremony.
A public-private partnership arrangement expected to build 324 housing units within 24 months is the first to be situated outside the state capital, out of about 26 completed estates. Apart from reducing housing deficit, the project will provide jobs, development and security to the people of Otukpo local government area.
I directed the Post-Service Housing Development Limited to review its subscription policy in respect to ratio of allocation between the military and the civilian subscribers from previously 70 to 30% to now 50-50% respectively.
Governor Samuel Otom, who commended the Nigerian Army's role in the quest to secure the state, appealed for the extension of the mandate of Operation Wild Stroke.
Going by the atrocities that were committed by the invaders and the attackers, the senseless people, who are obviously not the Fulanis that we know. And so when people say Fulani attackers, I say no. Because we have lived with Fulani people, we have intermarried with them, and we know who they are and what they can be. But these attackers, of course, are evil people. The relative peace we enjoy today is as a result of the deployment of the Operation Wild Stroke.
At the Palace of Ochidoma, Dr. Elias Obekba, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, said President Muhammadu Buhari has given approval for the establishment of army barracks in Otukpo. From Otukpo in Benue State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
From Otukpo, we go to Uyo. President Muhammadu Buhari deserves an overwhelming support given to him by the people of Akwa Ibom State in view of his commitment to the transformation agenda. Senator Godswill Akpabio said this at a Thanksgiving service organized by the APC in Akwa Ibom State in honor of the president. Imo Etemudo has details.
The Thanksgiving service followed a successful solidarity rally for President Muhammadu Buhari and Mr. Nsima Ekere in Uyo Senatorial District by the All Progressives Congress, APC. Senator Godswill Akpabio says President Buhari has been unprecedented in the impact he has created in Akwa Ibom State. He said such necessitated the serial endorsements for the president and the APC across the state, which climaxed at Uyo Senatorial District, hence the Thanksgiving service. Managing Director, Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Mr. Nsima Ekere, and the State Chairman of APC, Mr. Inuekobido, promised quality leadership from the APC when elected. Bishop Joseph Inega of the New Birth Bible Church, who preached on the significance of Thanksgiving, said such will open doors for the APC in Akwa Ibom State. The service featured presentations to Senator Akpabio and Mr. Nsima Ekere, as well as special prayers for President Muhammadu Buhari and the APC. in Uyo. Imo Etimudo, NTA News.
A petrol tanker explosion at Maje Suleja local government area of Niger State has destroyed several shops and houses. Dauda Mohammed reports that though no life was lost, some people sustained injuries as a result of the inferno.
The tanker, which was loaded with 45,000 liters of petrol, was alleged to have been parked on the field portion of the road shoulder. As a result, it fell and caught fire. Eyewitness said the driver of the tanker was earlier warned against parking on the spot, but ignored the warning. The resulting explosion left 40 shops, 15 houses, 3 vehicles burnt, and property worth millions of naira destroyed, while 4 persons sustained injuries. Niger State Deputy Governor Ahmed Mohamed Ketsu and the Senator representing Niger East Senatorial District, David Umaru, who visited the scene to commiserate with the victims of the inferno, both called for drastic measures to avoid the occurrence of such incidents.
The unions are here. We invited them to come to our Mina. We sat down and we told them that we don't want a situation whereby a tanker that is filled with fuel to park close to the community.
This is something that is happening because of our negligence. It's the same thing similar to what is happening in Apapa, Lagos. But there's no reason why we should continue to allow this kind of thing to happen.
It will be recalled that a week before the current incident, the driver of a fuel tanker lost control on Maje Suleja Highway, leading to the death of 2 persons and injuring 7 others. Dauda Mohammed, NTA News.
Now sports. Africa's Women Basketball Championships, Nigeria, the Tigresses hope to make up for first game loss at the FIBA World Cup as Anthony Joshua retains his boxing heavyweight title with another knockout at Wembley Stadium. Olumide Eguntola has this and more on Sports Update.
The 28-year-old British boxer on Saturday in Spain had a combined punches which landed like torrents on the 39-year-old Russian in front of over 85,000 spectators at the Wembley Stadium in London. Joshua went into the bout knowing fully well that nothing less than victory will cement his place in boxing history, the feat he achieved in round 7.
И снова попадает Джошуа. Джошуа все понял. Все, рефери останавливает бой.
Africa's women basketball champions Nigeria's the Tigers began their FIBA World Cup campaign on the shaky note on Saturday in Spain, losing to Australia 68-86 points in the first Group B game. At the time of filing this report, Nigerian team ranked 34th in the world is playing its second match against Turkey with the determination to make up for the first game loss. In the home front, clubs are slugging it out in the Kwesi Premier League Conference playoffs 2018 in the Atlantic and Savannah conferences in Lagos and Bauchi. The 3 results at the Savannah Conference in Bauchi show that Bauchi Net defeated defenders 77-67 points. Plateau Pigs also fell to Gombe Bulls 62-91 points. Kano Pillars were better than Niger Potters 91-68 points, while Ajib Giants is a bye. At the Atlantic Conference, Custom lost to Anambra Flames 68-81 points. Comet beat Delta Force 73-59 points. Kwara Falcons were better than Police Betting 78-59 points, while Hope and Reed defeated Oluyole Warriors 88-51 points. Actions resume on Monday. Meanwhile, attention has been drawn again to regular physical exercise, which the initiator of Andron Games, Obadetola Emmanuel, said will enhance optimal performance at work and long life.
We put fitness as a priority in our organization. And they can do a better job when they are fit.
The Games is scheduled for 12 to 14th October at the Yaba College of Technology Sports Complex, Lagos. With sports updates, Olumide Eguntola, NTA News.
Now a quick look at the weather picture across the country.
A warm welcome. Rainfall activities over the extreme north are beginning to gradually reduce as we expect residents around the north to begin their day with a fine weather conditions. The central states should be mostly cloudy in the morning, but with chances of early morning thunderstorms over Jos, Bauchi, some parts of Kaduna, Lokoja, Makurdi, and Yola axis. The southern cities are expected to be wet in the morning, with thunderstorms and rains over the coast and a few cities in the inland areas. But by afternoon hours, scattered thunderstorms and rains are probable in the coast, the inland of the south, the central states, and the northeastern region, while the northwestern part of the country are expected to be cloudy. Now I leave you with this temperature forecast. Join us again.
We'll take a short break now for some messages. Newsline will continue with Becky in Lagos. Stay with us.
Atlanta. I'm just getting ready for a photo shoot. Got my makeup on.
Hey Klaus, how you doing? How is Germany?
Hold on, 1 minute.
I haven't seen the containers yet. Oh, they are still in India.
Hello, Mama. Guess who's online?
Hey Rajesh, what time is it in India?
How is South Africa, Mama?
Aren't you spending too much on calls now?
Don't you worry about it, Mama, because with Glow, you only need to pay 200 Naira a month, and you get up to 85% discount on all calls to over 200 international destinations.
See, I'm going to let you guys sort this out.
Now. Time for the photo shoot. Love you. Bye.
Where's the photographer?
Hey, my friend. How are things going in Canada?
Glow International Call Slasher. Pay 200 Naira monthly fee to get up to 85% discount to call over 200 international destinations. Dial *777# to choose your plan. The largest data network. Glow. Grandmasters of data.
It's morning in Africa, and spirits are high as the continent prepares to move yet another 1 million tons of goods to markets across the seas. 4 time zones, 1 million opportunities, and vibrant young professionals 100 million strong. It's morning in Africa. One bank is opening the door to endless opportunities. With seamless Pan-African payment and trade solutions, presence in Europe, Asia, and the Middle East, we are Africa's gateway to the world. Access Bank. Speed, service, security.
This thing is not reducing like before.
Yes, all thanks to the new higher thermal fridge and freezer. They save energy and save money too.
Relax, Mom. It's energy saving and can work with our small generator.
Save up to 42,000 Naira per annum and save up to 40% of your energy with the new higher thermocool energy-saving refrigerators and freezers. Choose peace of mind. Choose higher thermocool.
Small fish in a big pond, but lights, camera, action, and we go beyond. This is our time, we on MTN and Pulse. No, we refuse, so now we can wave our banner. Yo, get ready for what we have to offer from Texas Sports. We got it on M-Pulse. I say science. We got it on M-Pulse. Silence the game. We got it on M-Pulse. M-Pulse. The stage is set, so let's own it. They say be this, they say be that, but all we want to be is just us, man. Fact.
Play, explore, and learn with MTN M-Pulse.
I think we'll have to withdraw the children from school. We'll find one of these other schools that's cheaper.
Never let circumstances force you to compromise on the quality of education your children deserve. Choose FBN Insurance Flexi Edu Plan for that tuition support that ensures your children never stop enjoying the level of education you desire for them. Visit www.fbninsurance.com.
Your detergent and with new look Ariel. Ariel, now in a new look pack.
The ultra-modern world-class 400-bed Abuja multi-system hospital at Dwekiti commences full operations on the 1st of October 2018.
Funded by a
Available equipment and services are surgery, medicine, pediatrics, obstetrics and gynecology, community medicine, physiotherapy, dentistry, laboratory, health informatics, 5 modular operating theaters, critical care unit and anesthesia, surgical procedures, mammography, ultrasound, diagnostic center.
Delivery unequal.
1st to 31st October, free consultations. 15th to 31st October, 5% discount on medication. Quality service at affordable cost. Abuja, ending foreign medical tourism.
The Nigerian Economic Society, in partnership with African Development Bank Groups, invites you to its 59th annual conference. Theme: Optimizing Value Chain in the Agricultural Sector in Nigeria. Date: 25th to 27th September 2018. Venue: Nikon Luxury Hotel, Abuja, at 8:30 a.m. prompt. Special guest of honor: His Excellency Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Oshibajo, GCON. For further inquiry, please call or visit www.nigeriaeconomicsociety.org. Organizing Committee. Announcer.
There is a reason Africa is called the new frontier. What was once potential is now an opportunity ready to be seized. Once revered for our resources, today's wealth lies in our people. People who build the cities that shape the future. People who know an idea in one place means business in another. A generation for whom technology means there are no borders, no boundaries. We are the new lions in a brave new world, kings of the urban jungle. And there's a bank that puts the world in our pocket and the future in our hands. UBA, Africa's global bank.
Thanks for staying on the line. For those who have fought wars, the memory never fades. We caught up with some soldiers who fought and survived the Nigerian Civil War between 1966 and 1970, and they relived some of the episodes that defined their life story. From Rivers State, Mayor Ogidi reports.
It's my first visit to the defunct Ogoja province in Cross River State. And being told much about it in history, I was inquisitive to know what makes Ogoja having a space in almost all history literatures in Nigeria. In a chance meeting with Allen Udom, a historian and native of Ogoja Kingdom, I asked him of the historical relevance of Ogoja. He told me many stories. A rock formation that looks like human structure. A community called Olo in Obudu area where men and women speak different languages and was the birthplace of the Nigerian Civil War. That is the first place where the gunshot was launched. The latter really captured my attention, so I visited Gakem town in Ogoja, where the war actually started, now a very hospitable settlement.
My father told me that the first war started here, and the people started from the top of this hill.
My newly found Ogoja friend, Allen, then took me to Charles Adoka's country home, a retired military officer who participated in the war, though age has taken a lot out of him.
I was a signal man in the military headquarters at Apapa, Lagos. The bitter experience was not something which we want it to happen again. So I would advise that war is not a solution to any problem. Dialogue and peaceful coexistence of people.
Thomas Intaji also took part in the war as a Biafran soldier. His account was not different from his former opponent.
We were recruited as Nigerian army, but converted to Biafran army. And a lot of those things, life was not anything to write about. You know, we were suffering. There was no food actually, hunger, and people suffered. And I'm praying God that it shouldn't come up again. The youth, they have not seen anything, but I'm praying that they should not formulate trouble. They should not ferment trouble. That they should come together and give the federal government a chance to see what he can do for them.
Things really fell apart then, but the center is holding all parts together in peace, and there is no anarchy losing upon Nigeria, just as Charles Adoka and Thomas Intaji now sit together in Ogoja, working for the peace and progress of the nation.
Actually tagged that feature from Ogoja across River State, peace is golden. The scars of war never fade. That was quite a thought-provoking interlude. Now, virtually every appliance we buy comes with manuals on how to operate them efficiently. Apart from mechanical and electrical gadgets, food and drugs are not left out. They have leaflets detailing the contents and instructions of dosage as well as side effects. Some people, however, do not bother with information after purchase, particularly on drug use, as they believe a doctor's prescription is all that matters. Annie Daniels takes a look at this issue.
Ever wondered why you see the lengthy information enclosed in a prescribed or over-the-counter medications? The document is known as the patient's information leaflet. This sheet, small as it may be, contains written information about the medication and its content. The primary purpose of this leaflet is to inform patients more about the medication with regards to administration, precautions, and potential side effects. How many Nigerians are aware of this?
I read through, but not all the time anyway, to be sincere. But I make sure anytime I have the time, I go through it before using them.
I didn't read the paper inside that medicine. I didn't read it.
Over 75% of the populace in this country don't do that at all.
I've seen someone who he took drugs and he was not effective. He thought it was not effective, and after some time he just took everything, without minding the consequence.
They back up with reasons.
There are some that are very, very tiny. The person might be an illiterate. An illiterate might not read.
The nurse, he just told me that I should take 2 in the morning, take 2 in the afternoon, and take 2 in the night. That's why I just take it. That's why I believe them and I take it like that.
Maybe the person that is sick, how he or she go and be reading? Maybe he have an headache and you even don't see anything.
Professionals believe that doctor knows it all.
Some respondents say that reading the information on the leaflets may discourage them from taking the drugs because they come across as scary.
They will tell you maybe in a language that is not properly communicated to a patient or someone who is a novice in that area. Because when you read something and they say the thing will kill you, the thing will do that, you take it.
The leaflet may provide 1 in the morning, 1 in the night, 1 in the afternoon. But for you now to visit your doctor and doctor says 1 in the morning, for instance, 1 in the night, the doctor must have reason why he prescribed that one to you, notwithstanding what is expressly written in the leaflet.
Jacob Mwachuku is a medical practitioner.
When you read those leaflets and you focus more on the side effects, you may be frightened. As a matter of fact, those side effects do not apply to everyone taking it. However, in the course of taking medication and you feel anything unusual, report back to the doctor. So the doctor can interpret correctly whether it is part of the side effect. And often at times, the general perception of 3 times a day may be morning, afternoon, and evening. No. When we say 3 times a day, it has its bearing on 24 hours. 3 times a day means divide 24 hours, 8 hourly. Not morning, afternoon, and evening. 8 hourly on the clock. Because it's presumed that each medication will work for 8 hours, and that one will take over from there on to sustain the efficacy level, to maintain it in such a manner that it will produce appropriate volume in the body system to exert the expected effect.
Dr. Mwachuku says the danger of not going through the patient's leaflet could lead to avoidable deaths.
The leaflet, for instance, if a drug may make you drowsy, like some cough syrup may do, then if you are not aware and you are traveling on a long journey, driving, and you take it in the morning as prescribed, and it makes you driving on the road, that is serious, that is dangerous. In the leaflets, always read it. It may be tiny. If you have problem with your sight, seek help. They will give you glasses so they can even read the smallest print, but you have to read and understand it. Well, you may say it's lengthy, but if you do a homework of 30 minutes, how long is it? You read it and understand it. After all, you will empower yourself with additional knowledge in case of future and in case of your relations.
You heard the good doctor. Please, henceforth, read those leaflets. It could save your life and that of others. There is a 13-year-old boy in Sokoto State who caught our attention. While his peers are busy doing what it is that teenage boys do, he is setting the stage for the actualization of his future ambition. Mohammed Nasri will tell us more about this talented youngster.
The JSS2 student of Cement Company Secondary School Sokoto, Muhammad Salim Ahmad, is a creative artist who has a passion for automobile design. He was inspired to develop interest in automobile design by the world car designer who is an indigene of Sokoto State, Jelani Aliyu.
The world car designer visited me, Jelani Aliyu, in my house. So after he left, he said, Papa, I want to be Jelani Aliyu. I said, how comes? He said, I want to join him to be a car designer. I said, car designer, are you interested in it? He has shown much interest. It was God's gift. Nobody taught him how to draw a car. At times, it's just based on imaginations, according to him.
The talented and ambitious Salim Ahmad has been putting on paper varieties of car designs, hoping to become a world-class car designer in future.
I want to become a car designer like Jelani Ali.
The 13-year Salim happens to be the only person from the Northwest who participated in the 12th Toyota Dream Car Art Contest held in February 2018 in Abuja. He emerged a national finalist of the live drawing and was offered admission by the White Plains British School, Abuja.
The school that he went and started for that exam for Toyota gave him admission. They gave him a scholarship. And the scholarship is about 700,000 per position, and they have sent the papers to Japan. So after we are waiting for the result to be released within this September. So God willing, if he is successful, he will go on a Chinese scholarship on the Toyota Nigeria.
If creative and talented children like Muhammad Salim Ahmad can get the needed support and encouragement, Nigeria will effectively reap the benefits of their being citizens of the nation.
Mohammed needs more encouragement, hope he gets it from the right quarters. The game of chess requires critical reasoning. Studies have shown that the brains of chess players are significantly different from the average brain. So it was an epic moment when a 4-year-old boy, who happened to be the youngest athlete at the recently concluded 4th National Youth Games in Ilorin, Kwara State, participated in the game of chess. Let's meet him through Kehinde Lamidi.
Citing this young lad during the just concluded 4th National Youth Games in Ilorin, being motivated by a coach with a bottle of soft drink, spurred my journalistic instinct to find out whom the lad is in the world of chess. He is Ismail Ebo Enoja from Benue State, born on November 12, 2013, by chess coach Sunday Andrew Onoja and a student of Ivido Nursery and Primary School, Makrudi, Benue State. My instinct was right. When my camera lens caught Ismail with dexterity, displaying the stuff he is made of on the chessboard. Performers at the Youth Games hand him the youngest athletes of the Games in Ilorin and the youngest player by the Nigerian Chess Federation and was presented NCF Chess Clock. A 4-year-old chess player assisted Benue State to win a gold medal in the team event and another silver medal. With this uncommon feat, the organizer of the National Youth Games presented him to the sport administrators and spectators at the closing ceremony. The camera-shy young Onoja could only manage to tell NT Sports few lines about his adventure into the game of chess, which required optimal thought and psychology.
What did the Nigerian Chess Federation give you as a gift?
Chess club.
Chess what?
Club.
His intuition is very high, and so he could play with the system for a very long period of time. And so if that is the case, he can withstand children.
But hoped that one day he will be crowned the world chess champion. Interestingly, his father is a chess coach with Benue State, who owns a chess academy in the state.
I started teaching him from the age of 1. And I will stay with him in the night from 12 to 6 in the morning in order to be able to build him up to the level of what I'm giving in the stadium. So at the time he began to pick up, and then God helped me, I was able to get an Android phone for him. So with this Android phone, he was able to like speed up his game in chess. So he developed strong interest. I no longer call him to chess. He's the one that calls me, come and play chess. Come, daddy, I'll beat you.
If given adequate mentoring and education, Sky, they say, may be a stepping stone for the young Onoja to achieve its ultimate goal on the planet Earth.
A wonder boy, if we ever saw one. He could be a world champion one day. Fingers crossed. The tide has turned for residents of communities along River Kaduna as the flood waters, which engulfed the terrain, have receded. Abdullahi Mohammed, who took a trip to one of the communities, reports.
That's a short period of time. After probably 1, 2, 3 days, it's gone. We're back to where we belong.
His predictions have come to pass. The Roro River has gone to sleep and life has normalized for the residents of Kigo Road.
When many others have returned to their homes, occupants of this particular house have abandoned it. The building was totally submerged in the flood and it subsequently became inhabitable.
Life goes on for residents like Abraham and Precious, whose apartments are located few meters to the river.
This is 13 years that I'm living this compound.
More worrisome is the integrity of the building they live in. The walls appear weak, and so the concrete enforcement that supports the building. Kigo Road remains one example of many communities by the bank of River Kaduna where the government agency in charge of urban development has over the years made futile attempts to penalize the erection of illegal structures which leave the communities at the mercy of nature. There is, however, a new and comprehensive approach by the state government to deal with the menace of illegal housing development and the flouting of environmental laws, especially in these communities.
In the long term, the people that have their residences within the buffer zones, they have to be relocated. Malam Nasir Al-Rufai is committed, to creating an alternative settlement, for the people that are already residents of the buffer zones.
And we're working hand in hand with another sister agency, which is the Kaduna Geographic Information Services, that's KADGIS. They are helping us to produce auto photos of these relevant areas.
Observers say it may be difficult to carry out forceful ejection of those found to have built on buffer zones and spaces reserved for drainages, but relocation could be a good idea.
Thanks for bringing that to the fore, Abdullahi. Moving on, Lagos means different things to different people. For some, it's a land of opportunities where gold and silver can be picked off the streets, while for others, it is a city characterized by endless enjoyment. However, most people find out sooner that Lagos is not cheap. First off, let's talk about accommodation. Getting a decent accommodation is easy. The affordability, however, is the problem. Annie Daniels reports on this.
Everyone knows that shelter is one of the basic needs of man. For instance, in Lagos, where not less than 15 million people reside, shelter is a major challenge.
Meeting agents, before you know, they will be giving you so amount. By the time you pay them the money, before you know, they will just meet fake agents.
Right now, I am trying to move from where I'm staying to move closer to where I'm working. So because of the gap, yes. And even right here, there's no much accommodation.
Look at where I rent now. The current apartment is rent. That means 20,000.
Rent an apartment for 80,000 naira, and someone has to pay extra 40,000 naira for maybe agreements and other management or clients. So that one is multiplied by 2. That's almost 160,000 naira instead of 80,000 naira.
There are some landlords in Lagos State now. Once anything is spoiled in jail, they won't repair it, and they are just increasing money anyhow.
One would expect that due to the high cost of rent. The structures will be in tip-top shape with accompanying facilities.
Tell them that the road is not good. There's no water in jail, there's no electricity, there's no toilet.
There is no proper toilet, just local toilet, that old industrial toilet.
The landlord will not even mind of the NEPA. You that pay for about thousands of naira will still be the one to go and pay for the NEPA.
Have you ever heard about self-contained without windows? Okay, Listen to these respondents.
Some houses in Lagos State does not have window but have small door. If there's no fan, if there's no fan in the house, they have too much of effect and need trashes.
Because there's no space. Everything's so occupied. Just as we say, fire happen now. That job is the dog collapse.
I was also informed that most landlords and their tenants in Lagos are always at each other's throats, a situation that sometimes ends in court.
I have seen landlords that are difficult to tenants, and I have also seen tenants who are difficult to their landlords. A tenant will stay in a property and he refuses to pay his rent. He knows that this is the duty that is expected of him. He refuses to pay rent. He refuses to contribute in clearing of waste. But when his rent now expires, or the rent expires, he refuses to renew. When the landlord puts some pressure on him, if he decides to move, he's ready to pay rent somewhere else, but he refuses to pay rent where he's staying.
If landlords request for rent from their tenants, most tenants wouldn't want to pay. The landlord will have no choice than to take the case to the court. If after the court has intervened and the tenants refuse to pay or quits the building, the landlord will throw the tenants' properties outside under the rain.
Due to the high cost of rents, most people in search of accommodations employ certain strategies to secure the space and sustain it.
She says she's married, but I've never seen the husband for one day. Throughout the period she was living in my house.
We'll come to you, tell them, you don't want, you want only you and one person. They can, at the end of the day, you will be surprised that before you know it, they can be up to 10 or 20 in a flat. Then sometimes if it's in a room, they'll be up to 6, 7, 8. Yes, especially when they are young.
It's hard for one person to pay such of an amount, understand? So that's why we divide it into two.
To fill the accommodation gap, our private developers who respondents say are no better.
As at the time they built those houses, the money was our currency was very strong. As of now that they are putting prices, they also will consider what they buy in the market. Because the house is a long-term investment. It's not something you collect rent every day. So that man also will base, he is going to market to buy things. So he will base it on it and put his rent so that he also can meet the needs of his family.
Which way forward?
Government also should kind of put a parameter in place. You see, when you see those old houses, you can come and put them in a group. Okay, we'll build for you like the developers normally do. They build for a particular time, they take certain percentage, and after a while they hand over the houses. The state also can do that for those people in order to bring out standard in the area.
While tenants and prospective tenants wait for that to happen, anyone planning to relocate to Lagos should ensure that their pockets are loaded with cash.
It all boils down to overpopulation. As long as Lagos is busting at the seams, accommodation will stay expensive. We hope you are enjoying Newsline tonight. Next, our social diary segment. Don't go away.
Some can think but have no sense. Sister, good morning. I have everything. Can you come to my house? Beautiful. Yeah. She's using my Kumago to take my costume. She will do something. 50% discount. Hey! Thank you.
Madam, please come inside.
Shut up your mouth.
So you don't know that with Glow or Sim, you can upload your market and get as many customers as you want?
You useless! I said for a you begin where you come. You get great.
With Glow or Sim, enjoy 125% more data to get ahead. Dial *777#, the largest data network. Glow, grandmasters of data.
Come on, boys. Come on. Look at this guy. Yeah, that's it. Fall back. Fall back. Oh, this boy.
TomTom refreshes and sharpens your senses, making you come alive. Go for it with TomTom.
Me? Let's go. I'm a keep when until the world stops spinning. I'm a keep when until the world stops spinning. Independent women, let's go. Keep up with me, come on. Until the world stops spinning. up on me. Come on, let's I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning. Independent women, come on, now let's get it. I'ma keep winning till the world stops spinning.
New styles from Darling. Find your beautiful.
All my fears are running.
What we are really cultivating here is a better future for all Nigerian women. And it's not always easy. Panadol Extra relieves headache, backache, joint pain, toothache, and menstrual pain. The pain is worth it.
The Aerial Assurance Challenge.
Oh, thank you. But what assurance can you give our daughter?
Everything. With the new look Aerial, I can even do the laundry.
Prove it then.
Okay. Let's make this stain even tougher. Now, let's wash the cloth with your detergent and with new look Aerial. Do you believe me now?
Aerial, now in a new look pack.
Darling, what's the matter? It's your birthday. Guests are already waiting at the pool.
It's headache, cold, pains all over my body.
Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet contains powerful ingredients specially prepared to bring you fast relief from headache, body ache, cough, flu, cold, and fever. Baby, how are you feeling now?
Wow, I feel great thanks to Cold Time Tablet.
Cold Time Tablet also available with syrup for children. If symptoms persist after 3 days, consult your doctor. Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet, a quality product from Embassy Pharmaceutical and Chemicals Limited. Cold Time Anti-Cold Tablet, your visa to healthy living.
Eshima. Mama. I'm out of food. Eshima, thank you, ma.
Amaka, ṣé wọ ni? Soap, orí, shea butter.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
I've got something for you. Clorex is the only gum that eliminates odors, giving you real fresh breath.
All right, kids. Today you're all going to tell me how you all spent your holidays. So the essay will be... Who did that? Who did that?
Share in the fun and excitement of the new school session with great tasting Indomie noodles. Hurry now and get yours. Indomie noodles, tasty nutrition, good for you.
Welcome back. Total Upstream Nigeria Limited, in collaboration with some partners, commissioned a multi-million naira life-transforming solar energy project at a learning center for physically challenged students in Imo State. Newsline captured the events, which attracted caregivers and dignitaries across Oguta local government area and beyond.
Total Upstream Nigeria Limited says the magnanimous gesture is born out of a passion to change the lives of residents of the center in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals number 3 and 7 on the significance of affordable modern energy.
It is one we as Total are happy and glad to be involved in because it represents something that is truly close to us. As a responsible energy major, contributing to the realization of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, ensure the good health and the well-being, as well as the provision of cleaner, affordable, reliable, sustainable, and modern energy.
Power supply has been a big challenge in our country. It is in an effort to intervene in this sector that NNPC agreed with Total and other partners to provide the solar solution to Duncan Canola Center.
The solar project, jointly funded by Total Upstream Nigeria Limited, NNPC, and several partners, is capable of generating 246 megawatts of electricity annually through the use of solar photovoltaic panels.
Especially the fact of aiding in the management of health crises at night. This project equally reduced the cost of powering the center and eliminated pollution caused by the use of diesel. Consequently,
the government of Imo State, in unequivocal terms, appreciates your laudable objective in ensuring that our children here have lights.
Total Upstream Nigeria Limited disclosed that each of the 5 buildings at the center will run independently on solar power, thereby reducing environmental pollution and cost of running the facility.
And elsewhere, the people of Obe community and its environs in Orionwo Council area of Edo State now have access to quality health care. This is because the cottage hospital there has been given a facelift, courtesy Seplat Petroleum Company. Only Okunta, who covered the inauguration of the facility, reports that a safe motherhood program held for pregnant women at the occasion.
The renovation of the cottage hospital is in fulfillment of the company's corporate social responsibility to its host community. The hospital now has a standard female ward, heart-to-heart counseling room, primary healthcare ward, maternity ward, and a theater room, which has a new anesthetic machine. This Safe Motherhood program with the theme child spacing not only enhanced knowledge, but also armed the pregnant women with delivery kits at no cost.
They food in nose, they food in mouth. If you no feel breathe, no feel cry. If you not cry, they life. If you not cry, they life. So to somebody yama come out so that the pikin go breathe well. They call or you go call a glucose extractor. More we clap for self and they put them inside for now.
The people are happy as they no longer need to undertake long journeys to access basic Medicare.
To say thank you today for what you have done. I hope people accept that they are here. Take this message home.
For Seplat, community relations and the people's well-being are very important.
If you have a healthy set of people, then you're bound to have better productivity, a more engaged set of people. I think that's why all over the world, health tends to rank really, really top in terms of where governments and companies want to spend a bit of investment on.
We actually run these programs before they go to bed, so what we give them enables them to take care of themselves, to make sure that whenever they have the baby will come out healthy.
Seplat is an independent, indigenous Nigerian upstream exploration and production company with a portfolio of assets in the Niger Delta, with commitment to social values and maintenance of excellent relationships with host communities, topping list of its priorities.
Moving on, PZ Wilmer, manufacturer of Mamador cooking oil, says adding value to the lives of customers of the brand is the aim of the Mamador Kitchen Makeover promo. The giveaway is all about transforming the cooking spaces of winners. Amaka Owo captured the excitement of lucky customers who won in the promo.
My name is Mashura Ahmed. For about 3 years thereabouts, I've been using Mamador.
Thank you, Mama Doll, for the amazing transformation. I'm really enjoying everything in my new kitchen. I'm really grateful. Thank you very much.
I'm Mrs. Faith Francis Emesi. I'm a businesswoman.
Thank you, Mama Do. Thank you, BZ. Thank you for seeing this thing to my kitchen. I'm very happy.
Surat Hamid and Faith Francis Emesi are some of the lucky customers who emerged winners from the Mama Doll Kitchen Makeover. These women had one of the most captivating moments of their lives as their cooking utensils were replaced with more sophisticated ones. Other customers from across the country won gift items ranging from refrigerators, gas cookers, and customized cooking pots, among others.
I started with them 5 years ago when these Mama Dolls were introduced into the market, and we started with them, and all along awareness and promotions in which the PZ have been doing, it's enhanced the sales of Mama Dolls.
Management of Mama Doll Oil over time has demonstrated absolute commitment to reward brand loyalty of her customers.
That our focus is always on consumer, and our approach is how do we delight consumers, how do we serve the needs of consumers, and how do we better lives of consumers. So we remain focused on that. Mama Doll is heart-healthy cooking oil, and we feel privileged to be able to offer some service to the community.
The Mama Doll consumer promotion has been very inclusive from a consumer perspective, regulatory body perspective, business partners who've been very open with the whole process. For each of the draws, we have representative of all the regulatory bodies, that are involved in promotion. So what we do is make sure that it's very open. We have a third-party agency who runs this digital platform, and it's done live. So we click and the names come up and the winners are called right away. So it's been a very, very open promotion. It's been a great time rewarding our consumers. It's been a great time being a part of their journey, as well as ultimately enhancing their cooking experience. That's what we have always been about. The Mama Doll brand continues to preach heart-healthy living, diet, and lifestyle inclusive. So we're not just about the diet, but we're also about your lifestyle. So
consumers can reach us via our website. We also run some social media handles. We're on Instagram, we're on Facebook. You can reach us on our website, www.mamadorng.com. Our Instagram and Facebook handle is @mamadorng. So if consumers have complaints, feedback for us, they can always send us a DM, drop a comment on our Facebook wall. Aside from giving feedback and asking questions, there are also so many things that you can do on the website. You can look for heart health tips, lifestyle tips. You can also get some yummy recipes using our cooking oil.
PZ Wilma Limited has over the years gone beyond providing quality products to impacting the lives of its numerous customers across the country.
Congrats to the lucky winners. We have another break now. Let's take it. More to come after this timeout. Stay on the line.
Speech is not a joke. It incites genocide and crimes against humanity. Most of Africa's civil wars are caused by hate speech from one tribe against another. We don't want it here. The Nigerian government stands firm against hate speech.
Under no conditions whatsoever should we tolerate or excuse or justify hate speech or hateful conduct of any kind, especially where such is illegal.
There's no doubt that the resurgent push for separatism, as well as the rising cases of ethnic and religious disharmony, are all traceable to the growing phenomenon of hate speech.
One nation bound in freedom. And unity.
Nigeria, one nation, one people.
This is a public service announcement brought to you by NTA.
I need
need a product that I can really trust to restore my skin's natural glow.
Nivea Natural Fairness Body Lotion containing unique berry extracts and UV protection to restore your natural glow and care for your skin.
Hello, here to pick up your sister? Mommy? Wow, such beautiful glowing skin.
Reveal your natural glow with Natural Fairness Body Lotion from Nivea.
Your perfect family is under threat by germs. Infectious diseases are now the world's biggest killer of adults and children. Every day, 16,000 children under the ages of 5 and thousands of adults die from infectious diseases. These infectious diseases are caused by germs. They are everywhere. An average human being comes in contact with over 1 million germs daily in unclean water, dirty surfaces, in the toilets, on cuts and wounds, on your clothes. Germs can cause deadly diseases like typhoid, diarrhea, flu, and cough. To protect your family from germs, use the power of Dettol's One Capful for surface cleaning in your bathing water, in your laundry water, for first aid to protect your family from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol Sure, endorsed by the Nigerian Medical Association.
Use Dettol Skin Jelly, which protects against germs for a healthy, smooth skin every day.
Your detergent and with new look Ariel.
Ariel, now in a new look pack.
This is my first experience riding this train. I've heard about it so much all around the city.
Actually, I'm surprised that such a development is coming to us.
I was impressed, saw neat, and actually you can compare with any type of train, all over the world.
I could not imagine that I'll be going from Edo straight to the airport by train.
And the environment is so clean, and the ACs are cool.
I want to commend federal government for the initiative to provide these train services.
And I wish to laud the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari in seeing that this project is a reality.
Please get ready to alight on the right side of the train. Thank you.
What makes a Niger mom powerful?
I trust the power of Dettol's One Capful for bathing. The power of Dettol's One Capful protects from up to 100 illness-causing germs.
Be 100% sure.
I need a product that I can really trust to restore my skin's natural glow.
Nivea Natural Fairness Body Lotion containing unique berry extracts and UV protection to restore your natural glow and care for your skin.
Hello, here to pick up your sister? Mommy? Wow, such beautiful glowing skin.
Reveal your natural glow with Natural Fairness Body Lotion from Nivea.
It was a week of festivities in Badagry when the traditional ruler of the ancient town turned 82. Cultural displays featured prominently, and guests who came from far and near had the time of their lives. Mohammed Abdul Kadri was there.
That was the mood in Badagry when the indigents troop out to celebrate the birthday of their monarch. The Royal Day made the weekday to look like work-free day for the people and guests who thronged to the palace to catch a glimpse of the octogenarian. Oba Akran at 82 and 41 years on the throne. How far, so far, in the life of this historical community?
Baba at 82 years, Papa has done very well.
Accommodate people and is hospitable.
Low-key celebration or not, Oba Akran, who is the custodian of culture and tradition, played host to the popular Akere cultural dance. How do you feel at 82? Do you feel like 20 years old?
Yes, I feel younger than my age.
At 82 and still counting, observers say the reign of Oba Akran of Badagry has been peaceful and progressive.
Baba is a man of peace. Baba has the love of his community at heart. Baba is seen as father to everybody.
He has been able to be the asset with which that unites the security of this division.
He likes trust in people, and he doesn't like lies. So he's a person that one can work with.
Yes, wishing the royal father more years in sound health. Newsline will return after the break. Please stay on the line.
Nigerians. Suicide bombers are not spirits. They are not ghosts. They are human beings like you and me. They live amongst us. They are your neighbors. They are your friends today, but terrorists tomorrow. So you must know your neighbor now. Security begins with you and me. Know your neighbor. Be vigilant. Be security conscious. Report suspicious persons, objects, and movements to the police and other security agencies. The security of our nation is a duty for you and me.
If you see something, say something. Nigeria unite against terror. Brought to you by the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture.
The remains of veteran journalist and retired staff of the NTA, Victor Folivi, have been committed to Mother Earth. Ometara Chedu reports that the late veteran journalist was described by many as a selfless and humble person who lived a life of service to God and humanity.
That was the final journey of Victor Folivi, a veteran journalist, a man with a mighty pen who most people described as humble, peaceful, godly, and hardworking. At the funeral service held at the Holy Cross Cathedral, where Anthony Cardinal Olubumi Okoje and other officiating priests presided, late Victor Folivi was described as a man of faith who loved to identify with the people of God.
Each and every one of us are called to reflect on how we actually live our lives.
For the wife and some family members, Victor Folivi lived a fulfilled life, a life of kindness to others.
He was a wonderful man. I'm going to miss his friendship and all that he does. So most of the time, he will come and be singing to me, dancing with me, and he's a loving husband.
We'll remember him for the way he touched our lives.
A very good guy. He loved all the family members.
He was a very
a God-fearing person.
Some of his colleagues in the NTA described him as a true professional, a mentor and friend who was always ready to help others on the job.
He's a teacher and a mentor.
With love and respect, he was called Oga. He was the quintessential boss, as they say.
An intelligent man, very, very hardworking and honest to the core.
Victor Folivi was a journalist of repute. He started his career in the late 50s with Daily Express, and in 1965, he joined the Nigerian Broadcasting Service, which eventually metamorphosed into Nigerian Television Authority. He rose to the rank of Chief Executive and served as General Manager NTA Akure and NTA Abeokuta, where he finally retired. He died at the age of 81.
May his soul rest in peace. Amen. And that's our package tonight. Let's do this again next week. Thanks for keeping a date with us. Alibaba is next. Alibaba, seriously. And he came in, you know, like a looking all elaborate.
Yeah. We're there for the Abuja challenge for AY. He has a new movie called Merry Men.
Wow. Okay.
Yes, so
I'm sure Ebuka won the challenge as usual.
Nobody can win. RMD was part of the challenge, so RMD always wins. So we all want to compliment him.
All right. So make sure you watch the show. It's always great. From me, good night and God bless Nigeria.
Information is power. Everyone wants power. So feel powerful with the NTA News mobile app, the one-stop information center. Real news at your fingertip. Be the first to report by uploading first-hand information on the YouReport link, and be the first to know by simply clicking on any of the links on the sidebar for headlines, domestic and foreign news, economy, security, politics, sports, and more. Stream live on your smartphone and tablets and stay connected. It's pretty easy. Simply download NTA News app from your Google Play Store and you're good to go. NTA News mobile app, your access to real-time information.
You are watching NTA, Nigerian Television Authority. For more information and news updates, visit our website at www.nta.ng, or you can follow us on Twitter at NTA News Now, or you can like us on Facebook at NTA Network News. Stay connected on our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/NTA News Online. Watch our live stream at www.nta.ng/live.